We start with the third and final TV debate between the four leading presidential candidates, this time on politics and foreign policy. And as ever, they locked horns in every respect, not only contrasting policies, but exchanging personal criticisms. Our Soo-young reports.
The final presidential TV debate took off with intense verbal exchanges as the four leading candidates clashed over visions of foreign policy and domestic political reform. Democratic Party candidate Lee Jae-myung voiced support for the South Korea-U.S. alliance, calling it the foundation of Korea's diplomacy, and even said trilateral cooperation with Japan is necessary. But he maintained a stance that Seoul shouldn't neglect ties with China and Russia.
We must manage our relations well. There is no need to antagonize them as we are doing now.
People Power Party Kim Moon-soo raised concern over Lee's alleged involvement in an illegal remittance to North Korea, saying it was fattening the Kim Jong-un regime and its missile and nuclear threat.
I will strengthen nuclear deterrence and enhance our defense capability to build a Republic of Korea that will not be shaken by any threat.
Responding to a question from Lee, Kim Moon-soo said nuclear weapons should be pursued if it is possible within the scope of the South Korea-U.S. alliance, and also suggested nuclear sharing arrangements similar to NATO's or a Korean-style model. Lee criticized the stance, saying that denuclearization of the Korean peninsula is already a given. Meanwhile, the Reform Party's Lee Jun-seok criticized both the DP and PPP for simply aligning with larger powers and pledged practical ways to overcome Korea's security crises.
I will elevate South Korea from a nation that depends on alliances to one that designs and leads them.
He said he'd coordinate policy on foreign affairs, unification, defense and internal affairs with a Deputy Prime Minister for Security and by merging the foreign affairs and unification ministries. He also suggested establishing joint South Korea-U.S. military logistics facilities to produce shells and fill the U.S. ammunition gap, and replacing increases in defense cost sharing with the supply of Korean-made weapons. He also questioned the DP candidate over his past claims on America's deployment of the THAAD missile defense system to South Korea, saying that such claims align with the views of China and conspiracy theorists. Lee Jae-myung said it isn't appropriate to continue fueling controversy over the matter. He also said there was no evidence of his alleged remittance to North Korea. Meanwhile, Democratic Labour Party candidate Kwon Young-guk declared he would appoint a civilian as defense minister and dismantle elite military factions.
I will create a scene where the U.S. and North Korea establish diplomatic ties. Based on active exchanges, I will realize peace on the Korean peninsula.
The two-hour debate was also intended to address domestic political reform, but was overridden by mudslinging, targeting Lee Jae-myung's ongoing criminal trials and his party's push for legal revision and judiciary reform, an apparent attempt to exonerate him. Kim Moon-soo, meanwhile, was criticized for his association with impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol as other candidates called to close the chapter on the dark legacy of martial law. Soo-young, Arirang News.